Science in sleeping, calming facts about nature's powerful forces. Welcome back to Science in Sleeping. I'm so glad you're here tonight. In this quiet corner of your evening, we'll be exploring something truly timeless, the calming strength and hidden beauty of nature's most powerful forces. The same winds that shape mountains, the same tides that pull the moonlit seas, and the same gravity that holds the stars together, all working in harmony, all carrying the gentle rhythm of the universe itself. Tonight, I hope this time together helps you drift into the kind of rest your body has been longing for. And even if sleep takes a little while to find you, I hope these thoughts of nature's balance bring peace to your mind. You don't need to focus. You don't need to remember anything. You can simply listen, breathe, and let the sound of my voice carry you softly toward Tom. Before we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from and what time it is right now. Maybe it's close to midnight and the world around you is quiet and still. Or maybe you're just beginning to unwind after a long, busy day. Wherever you are, know that this moment, right now, belongs to you. A gentle space between wakefulness and dreams. A space to breathe, to imagine, and to rest. You've done enough for today. You've thought enough, felt enough, given enough. Now, it's your turn to simply be. No effort, no pressure, no goals. Just the slow rhythm of your breath and the soothing hum of the world turning quietly beneath you. As we drift together through tonight's story, we'll move through the unseen forces that shape everything we know: wind, gravity, light, water, and energy. But instead of exploring them through the lens of textbooks and equations, we'll step inside their rhythm. We'll listen to how they whisper, how they move, and how they cradle every part of life on Earth. Each element, each invisible current, has its own gentle language, and together they form the music of the natural world. So, if you're lying in bed, resting your head on the pillow, take a slow, deep breath in and let it go slowly. Let your shoulders soften. Let the weight of the day melt away. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Just listen and let your body begin to follow the calm patterns of nature's power. The waves of the ocean rolling endlessly, the wind that dances across distant plains, the quiet pulse of the earth beneath your feet. All of these are the same forces that once shaped mountains, carved rivers, and carried seeds across continents. They are the rhythm of time itself, ancient, patient, and endlessly soothing. Tonight, as we wander through these natural wonders, let your imagination paint the scene. Feel the cool breath of the sea air on your skin. Hear the low, comforting echo of thunder far away. Watch the stars shimmer softly above the quiet forests of the earth, and allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into stillness. Now, settle in, get comfortable, let your mind grow quiet as the night begins to unfold. Let's begin our journey into the calming, powerful, and peaceful science of nature. Have you ever wondered how something as invisible as the wind can shape entire worlds? How it can sculpt the tallest dunes, carry seeds across continents, and whisper through the branches of ancient forests? We feel it every day, brushing against our skin, rustling our hair, tugging gently at curtains by the window. Yet we rarely stop to think about what it truly is. It's just air, we say, moving from here to there. But the truth is, Wind is one of the most delicate and powerful artists the earth has ever known. And tonight, we'll drift into its rhythm, quietly tracing its unseen fingerprints across the surface of the world. Imagine yourself standing on a wide open plain beneath a soft twilight sky. The air is cool and dry, carrying the scent of distant rain. Far away, the horizon blurs into a deep, dusky blue. The last light of the sun fades gently, and a breeze begins to rise, slow at first, then steady, then soft again. It's not just air moving, it's the planet breathing. Every gust, every whisper of motion you feel is part of a global dance of heat, pressure, and invisible balance. The air above warm ground rises, the air above cool water sinks, and together they begin to flow. This movement, so quiet, so constant, is one of nature's oldest stories. In scientific terms, wind is the result of pressure differences in the atmosphere. Warm air expands, becomes lighter, and rises upward. Cool air, heavier and more patient, flows in to take its place. That's the beginning of a breeze, and multiplied across mountains, oceans, and deserts, it becomes the network of motion that encircles our planet. You could think of it like the bloodstream of the Earth's atmosphere, carrying warmth, carrying energy, keeping everything in motion on a global scale. The Earth's rotation also shapes the path of the wind. As the planet spins, the air doesn't move in straight lines, it curves. This gentle deflection is called the Coriolis effect. It's what makes trade winds steady near the equator, and storm systems swirl across oceans. Without it, the climate would be still, static, and unbalanced. But with it, everything flows in spirals, patterns, and waves. Nature rarely moves in straight lines, and neither does the wind. Did you know that the average gust of wind in a simple backyard is part of the same vast circulation that connects the poles to the equator? That the air you're breathing tonight may have once drifted above a mountain in Tibet, crossed an ocean, and passed through a rainforest canopy before finding you. Every breath you take is part of a journey billions of years in the making. The wind never truly stops. It only pauses to change direction. And that means, in a way, you are constantly connected to every corner of the world through the air around you. There's also a quiet poetry to the way wind carries life. A dandelion seed rising from a patch of grass, floating silently until it finds new soil to rest in. Tiny grains of sand traveling across continents, building dunes that sing in the night. Even pollen from distant trees traveling unseen, ensuring the next generation will bloom. Wind is motion, but it's also memory, the earth remembering itself through movement. The science of the wind also tells us about balance. Too much heat in one part of the world creates powerful storms. Too little, and the skies grow stagnant. But in between those extremes is the perfect calm, the kind of wind that barely touches your face, yet moves mountains grain by grain. That balance mirrors something in us too. When our minds are too hot with thoughts, or too still with worry, we can lose our own internal harmony. But when we breathe deeply, slowly, we find the same steady rhythm the wind knows so well. And the wind has shaped not only landscapes, but civilizations. It filled the sails of explorers, spun the first windmills, carried songs, prayers, and stories from one village to another. Long before electricity, humans learned to listen to the air. They watched how birds tilted their wings, how smoke curled upward, how trees bent ever so slightly, all signs that the world was breathing. To ancient peoples, the wind was sacred, invisible, untouchable, but alive. Many languages still carry this belief. The word for spirit and breath often come from the same root, because both are unseen and both move through us in the same quiet way. If you listen closely, the wind can also teach you about patience. It never rushes, yet it always arrives. It carves stone with time, not force. It bends the tallest trees, not with violence, but with persistence. There's wisdom in that rhythm, that even the gentlest motion, repeated endlessly, can change the world. So next time you stand in a breeze, close your eyes for a moment, feel it, touch your skin. Notice how it carries warmth and coolness in the same breath. That's equilibrium, nature's way of reminding us that calm doesn't mean stillness. It means balance in motion, the same balance that keeps our hearts beating, our planet spinning, and our breath flowing in and out. And now, as you rest here, listening in the quiet of the night, imagine the wind moving softly through the trees outside your window. Imagine it gliding over oceans, stirring waves beneath the moonlight. Imagine it carrying faint scents of pine, salt, and rain. This is not just air, it's connection. It's the invisible thread tying you to every living thing that breathes. And as you drift deeper into calm, let your breath synchronize with it, slowly, evenly, effortlessly. You are part of that same gentle current, floating, resting, carried. The wind reminds us that even unseen forces can hold immense beauty, that what we cannot grasp, we can still feel, and sometimes it's the invisible things, like air, time, and love that shape us most profoundly. They flow through us quietly, yet leave behind a landscape changed forever. So tonight, as your eyes grow heavier, let that idea settle within you. The world moves softly, and so can you. Everything is in motion, yet perfectly still. Now, as we leave the whispers of the wind behind, our next journey drifts toward another force of nature, one that pulls on oceans, moons, and even the flow of time itself. Let's follow that quiet gravitational rhythm and discover how it keeps the world in balance. Have you ever wondered what keeps everything from drifting away into nothingness? What holds the oceans in their basins, the moon in its orbit, your body gently to the bed beneath you? It's something you can't see, something you can't touch, and yet it quietly shapes every moment of your life. It's called gravity, and tonight we'll follow its invisible pull through space and time. As it connects planets, stars, oceans, and even the rise and fall of your breath, picture yourself standing on a high mountain ridge. The air is thin and cold, the horizon stretches endlessly, and the clouds below drift like soft white oceans. You feel the solid rock beneath your feet, that quiet sense of being held. You might think it's just the mountain supporting you, but what's really holding you here is something much larger, a gentle, invisible hand that reaches from the core of the earth to every grain of sand, every leaf, every drop of rain. That's gravity, the quiet sculptor of the universe. It began with a mystery. Centuries ago, people watched the moon glide across the sky and wondered what invisible force was keeping it there. Why didn't it fall? Why didn't it fly away? And what made an apple drop from a tree while the moon seemed to float? These simple questions led to one of the most profound discoveries in human history. Isaac Newton realized that the same force that pulls an apple toward the earth also pulls the moon toward us. That gravity isn't just something that happens here, it's a conversation between everything that exists, every object, every planet, every heartbeat, pulling and responding forever. It's strange to think of gravity as a conversation, but that's what it is. Every piece of matter is whispering softly to every other, you, me, the earth, the stars, all exchanging tiny, invisible messages through space. That's what keeps galaxies spinning, oceans rising, and your feet resting comfortably on the ground. You are connected to everything by invisible threads of attraction. And the beauty is, you never even have to think about it. Now, imagine drifting above the earth, far enough that the planet beneath you curves away into deep blue. Clouds swirl slowly, continents gleam faintly beneath mist and sunlight. If you could let go, you might think you'd fall, but in orbit, you'd keep falling around the earth instead of toward it. That's what astronauts feel, the eternal fall that never ends. They are in a constant state of surrender to gravity's pull, always falling, yet never landing. It's like the entire experience of letting go without fear, floating through the delicate balance of motion and attraction. That balance is the essence of life itself, always moving, always held. Gravity also writes the shape of time. According to Einstein, it isn't just a force, but the bending of space itself. Imagine the universe as a soft, invisible fabric. Every planet, every star, every human adds a tiny indentation to that fabric. When something moves through it, even light, it curves. It follows the gentle contour carved by mass. That's why light from distant galaxies bends around stars, why time slows near massive planets, and why the universe feels like it's humming softly with unseen tension. The science of gravity is breathtaking, but its poetry is even more so. Because if you think about it, gravity is the feeling of belonging. It's what ties the moon to the earth, the tides to the shore, you to your home. It's what allows stars to gather, planets to form, and galaxies to bloom like luminous flowers in the dark. Without it, everything would drift apart. Without it, there would be no form, no warmth, no light. Every moment of connection, physical or emotional, echoes gravity's silent pull. We fall in love, we fall asleep, we fall toward what we are drawn to. It's as if gravity itself exists, not just in physics, but in the heart. Did you know that gravity affects the very shape of your body? The way your spine settles when you lie down, the way your blood moves, the rhythm of your heartbeat. In space, without gravity, muscles grow weaker, bones lose density, fluids float unpredictably. Astronauts train for years to adapt to a world where gravity's comfort disappears. And yet, they always describe the same strange longing, the yearning to feel weight again, to be pulled home, to feel the familiar tug of Earth beneath their feet. Even in the silence of the cosmos, gravity feels like love, the quiet reassurance that something still holds you. If you look deeper into the cosmos, gravity becomes even more mysterious. Black holes, for instance, are the ultimate expression of its power, places where gravity grows so intense that not even light can escape. Time slows near them, space stretches, and the laws of physics begin to tremble. But even these terrifying giants are not monsters, they're architects. Without them, galaxies wouldn't exist. Their immense pool gathers stars, sculpts arms of spiral galaxies, and breathes shape into the cosmos. What seems destructive is actually creative. Gravity, even in its extremes, is a builder, not a destroyer. Back on Earth, you can see gravity's gentler side everywhere. The arc of a waterfall as it tumbles from a cliff. The way raindrops gather on leaves and then slide softly down. The pendulum of a clock swaying patiently, measuring time in delicate beats. Each movement is a quiet conversation with gravity. A balance between falling and holding, between surrender and stability. It's the same balance your body finds when you breathe deeply and allow yourself to relax. You're not resisting, not holding tension. You're allowing yourself to be held. In the grand design of the universe, gravity teaches us something profound, that everything needs something else to stay in place. The moon needs the earth needs the sun, and we need connection. Even the stars, vast and ancient, exist in clusters, drawn together by invisible threads of attraction. Nothing stands alone, not really. Everything moves together, pulling and being pulled, in one great cosmic waltz. So when you lie here tonight, sinking slowly into the softness beneath you, remember, gravity is your oldest companion. It's the reason you can rest. It's the reason you can feel safe enough to close your eyes. It's the constant embrace that never loosens. The same force that shapes galaxies is gently holding you now. In this quiet room, in this tender moment between waking and dreaming, let yourself feel that, the subtle heaviness of your body, the quiet rhythm of your breath, the sense of being gently pulled downward. Not by force, but by trust. You are exactly where you need to be. The next time you watch the moon rise, think about this: that distant, glowing sphere is falling toward us every second, and yet, its fall is so perfectly balanced by its motion that it never lands. That's what keeps it circling endlessly, serenely, beautifully. A relationship defined not by collision, but by harmony. We are the same, constantly falling toward what we love, yet held by the invisible grace of balance. As you drift deeper now, let that thought settle into your dreams. You are being held by the same force that holds the stars. Every breath you take echoes through a universe built on connection. Nothing is lost, nothing drifts away, everything finds its place. And just as the moon circles the earth in perfect stillness and motion, your thoughts can circle calmly tonight, softly, endlessly, peacefully. Now, as your breathing slows and the pull of sleep grows stronger, we'll follow the next current in our journey from the weight of gravity to the shimmering light that dances across space and time. A light that touches every leaf, every wave, every atom. Let's follow it together as we drift gently toward the science and serenity of light. Have you ever wondered what light really is? That gentle golden warmth that wakes you in the morning? The silver glow that bathes the world at night? Or the ancient starlight that travels for billions of years just to brush against your eyes? We see it every day, yet it remains one of the most mysterious forces in existence. Light isn't just brightness, it's information, energy, memory, and motion all woven into one. It's the universe speaking in color. and every photon is a word in that infinite language. Picture yourself lying in a quiet field at twilight, the air still warm from the day, the grass bending softly beneath your fingertips. Above you, the sky shifts from blue to violet, and the first stars begin to appear. You can almost feel the light changing, the day fading, the night unfolding. It's not a sudden switch, but a graceful exchange, a cosmic handshake between the sun and the stars. Each beam of light that reaches your skin has traveled through layers of air, dust, and time, carrying the fingerprint of the world it came from. In its simplest form, light is a vibration. It's a wave that moves through space, pulsing faster than thought. Each tiny photon, the smallest possible packet of light, carries energy, a gift from a distant source. Sometimes that source is the sun, a nearby lamp, or a flickering candle flame. But sometimes it's a star so far away that its light began its journey before humans ever walked the earth. Every ray that touches you tonight, light doesn't just illuminate, it connects past and present, here and elsewhere, in a single heartbeat. Scientifically, light behaves both like a wave and a particle, a paradox so strange that even Einstein called it one of nature's most profound riddles. It bends, reflects, refracts, scatters, and sometimes it disappears, swallowed by gravity, stretched by space, or bent around invisible corners of the universe. It's both everywhere and nowhere, and still, it never truly stops. Even when it fades from sight, its journey continues, echoing softly through the darkness. Did you know that the colors you see are not truly in the objects themselves? The green of a leaf, the blue of the ocean, the red of a sunset. These aren't properties of matter. They're interactions. When light touches something, part of it is absorbed, and part is reflected. Your eyes receive what remains, and your brain translates it into color. In other words, the world doesn't have color. You create it. Light is the artist, and your mind is the canvas. Together, they paint reality, one wavelength at a time. And yet, light has moods. The sharp, brilliant white of noon is not the same as the honey gold of dawn or the deep indigo of dusk. Each carries its own emotion, its own rhythm. Morning light awakens, midday light clarifies, and evening light forgives, even in darkness. There's light, faint starlight, soft reflections from the moon, the quiet glow of your screen. Your body feels these changes, even if your eyes are closed. Every cell has its own clock, quietly syncing to the rhythm of the sun. It's called the circadian rhythm, and light is its conductor. That's why morning light helps you wake, and darkness gently invites sleep. It's a dialogue, older than language, written into the chemistry of life itself. The sun, our nearest star, releases light through nuclear fusion, the merging of hydrogen atoms into helium deep within its core. Every second, the sun converts 600 million tons of hydrogen into light and warmth. That light travels through the vacuum of space for 8 minutes before reaching us. By the time it arrives, it has crossed 150 million kilometers, a distance so vast it's hard to imagine. And yet, when it touches your face, it feels intimate, personal, almost tender. That's the miracle of light, infinite distance, yet immediate connection. But light can also reveal the unseen. Astronomers use it to decode the universe. Every star, every nebula, every planet has a unique spectral signature, a pattern of colors that reveals what it's made of. By studying those patterns, scientists can tell what elements exist on worlds they've never touched. Light carries stories, not just of where it's been, but what it has encountered along the way. It's like a cosmic letter, written in color, sealed in time, delivered to your eyes across the vastness of space. There's a strange comfort in knowing that even when light fades, it never truly vanishes. When the sun dips below the horizon, its rays still bend around the curve of the earth, painting the sky with soft hues of rose and violet. Even starlight from galaxies long gone continues to travel, carrying the memory of what once was. Light is a keeper of moments, a preserver of existence. Every photograph, every glimmer on water, every spark in the eye is a record of time made visible. And deep inside you, light lives too. Your body glows faintly with biophotons, tiny flashes of light, invisible to the naked eye, yet measurable. It's as if every cell in your body hums softly with the memory of the sun. You are made of stardust, yes, but you are also made of starlight. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your skin, all born from the hearts of ancient stars that once blazed with unimaginable brightness. You carry their light within you still. The next time you watch sunlight glint through a window or moonlight spill across your pillow, pause for a moment. What you're seeing is not just illumination, it's time, energy, and history arriving at once. Light has touched everything that ever was and will continue long after we're gone. It is the handwriting of the cosmos, and like any great language, it can be read by those who know how to listen. In art and poetry, light has always symbolized hope, awareness, and clarity. But in the quiet of night, it becomes something gentler, a whisper of reassurance. It tells you that even in darkness, there's something still moving, still reaching, still shining. That's why candles comfort us, why stars calm us. Light reminds us that absence isn't emptiness. It's simply space waiting to be illuminated. As you lie here now, your eyelids heavy, your breath slow and soft, imagine the light of distant stars falling gently around you. Imagine it drifting across your skin like a warm breeze, each photon older than civilization itself, finding its way to you through a journey of unimaginable distance. You are bathed in ancient light, the same light that once shone on oceans before continents existed, the same light that guided travelers across deserts, the same light that will continue to glow long after your dreams have begun. Light, in its essence, is motion and rest and memory all at once. It's the bridge between what we see and what we feel. It carries knowledge and warmth through the coldest void. And in the simplest way, it teaches us how to exist, not by resisting darkness, but by shining gently within it. So as sleep begins to rise, like a slow tide, let that glow soften your thoughts. Let it move through you, gentle and forgiving. You don't have to chase it. It's already here, in your heartbeat, in your breathing, in every quiet flicker behind your closed eyes. You are part of the light, and the light is part of you. And as you drift deeper into stillness, know this: even in your dreams, the universe continues to shine, speaking in photons, painting in silence, loving in wavelengths. Now, let that glow fade into soft darkness. because our next journey will take us from light to water, where the reflection of light dances on liquid surfaces, where movement becomes emotion, and the tides rise and fall under the moon's calm command. Let's follow that rhythm as we drift together toward the gentle power of water. Have you ever wondered how a single drop of rain can shape the story of an entire world? How something so small, so weightless, can carve canyons, nourish forests, and create the very rhythm of life itself? It seems impossible that something so gentle could hold such incredible strength. But perhaps that's the quiet truth of water. Its greatest power lies not in destruction, but in patience. Imagine you're standing on a cliff overlooking a vast valley, the air cool and soft against your skin. Below you, a river winds through the earth like a silver thread, glowing faintly beneath a cloudy moon. You can hear the slow whisper of water against stone, a sound that has been repeating for millions of years. The river moves calmly, endlessly, as if it knows exactly where it's going. And maybe, in a way, it does. Because water remembers the path of least resistance. It always finds its way home. In the heart of every drop lies a simple law: motion seeks balance. When clouds gather, the air becomes heavy with moisture, each droplet suspended in the sky like a tiny world waiting to fall. And when the time comes, gravity calls them down. They fall softly through the layers of air, touching leaves, soil, and stone, and with every journey downward, they begin to shape the planet in subtle, miraculous ways. Did you know that the same water falling outside your window tonight might have once flowed through a glacier thousands of years ago? That it could have been trapped in ice beside a woolly mammoth, or carried by a river past the first flowering plants? Every molecule of water on Earth has been cycling through the same endless loop for billions of years, evaporating, condensing, falling, freezing, melting, and returning again. It's one of nature's most perfect acts of recycling, a continuous dance of renewal. The ocean breathes water into the sky. The sky releases it as rain, and the rain returns to the sea. Over and over, without end. When we think of power, we often picture roaring storms or crashing waves. But the most extraordinary transformations of water happen quietly, in stillness, like the way a single droplet seeps into the cracks of a mountain, freezes overnight, and expands just enough to split the rock open. A process so slow it might take centuries to notice. Yet this patient persistence has carved valleys, shaped cliffs, and even created entire landscapes. Water teaches us something profound, that great change doesn't always come in floods. Sometimes it comes in quiet persistence, and when water gathers its strength, it reminds us of nature's breathtaking scale. Consider the force of a waterfall, billions of gallons rushing downward, the air vibrating with energy, or the surge of a tidal wave, born deep beneath the ocean floor when tectonic plates shift with unimaginable pressure. In moments like these, water becomes both creator and destroyer. It reminds us that all balance in nature is delicate. Every calm surface hides infinite depth. There's another kind of mystery in water too, one we still don't fully understand. Its molecular structure gives it properties no other liquid possesses. It expands when it freezes, allowing ice to float instead of sink. It dissolves more substances than any other known fluid. and it can absorb vast amounts of heat without changing temperature quickly. These traits make life possible, stabilizing climates, shaping weather, and protecting the fragile boundaries of ecosystems. Without them, Earth would not be the living, breathing planet we know. In your body right now, water flows through every cell, every organ, every heartbeat. It carries oxygen, helps your brain think, cushions your joints, and keeps your temperature in perfect balance. The very rhythm of your pulse echoes the rhythm of ocean tides. Each breath you take mirrors the gentle inhale and exhale of the sea. You and the planet are bound together by this shared language of flow. And so, as you lie here tonight, imagine yourself as part of this water cycle. Picture a single raindrop forming high in the clouds. Shimmering with moonlight, it begins to fall, drifting slowly through the cool layers of air. It lands softly on a leaf, rolls down the stem, and slides into the earth. There, it joins an underground river, winding its way through hidden caves and roots, until one day it resurfaces in a stream, a river, or a wave, beginning the journey all over again. The water never hurries, never resists. It flows where it must, patiently reshaping the world in this rhythm. There is something deeply comforting, the idea that even the smallest drop plays a role in something infinite, that everything in nature, even what seems insignificant, and just like water, we are all part of cycles we cannot always see. Cycles of growth, rest, change, and renewal. Nothing stays still forever, and nothing is ever truly lost. So, tonight, as the sound of water echoes softly in your imagination, let it wash over you, let it soothe the edges of your thoughts. Feel the calm patience of the world's rivers flowing quietly inside you. And if sleep begins to drift closer, don't resist it, just allow yourself to flow with it, like a river finding its way back to the sea, because that's what we all do. In the end, we find our way home. And as we leave the story of water behind, the night continues to unfold. The air grows cooler, the stars a little brighter, and something unseen stirs on the horizon. Another of nature's powers waiting to be explored. Something that hums quietly within every storm, every spark, and every sunrise. Let's follow it together into the electric heart of the night. Have you ever watched lightning from a distance? That split-second flare across the night sky, so sudden, so silent at first, and wondered what secret language the earth and sky are speaking to each other. That something so fleeting could hold such power, bright enough to light the world for miles. Yet gone before you can blink. It feels like a heartbeat, doesn't it? A pulse of energy reminding us that even the calmest night sky carries a living current. Picture yourself lying on a hillside beneath a restless sky. The air feels thick, like it's waiting for something. The wind has gone still, the crickets quiet, the scent of rain heavy in the air. Far away, a cloud begins to glow from within. A faint flicker at first, like the earth is taking a slow breath. And then, in an instant, light tears across the heavens. A river of white fire branching through the clouds. You can almost feel it in your chest. The sound comes next, a deep, rolling murmur that echoes through the ground beneath you. And though the storm is far, you feel connected to it, part of its rhythm, its energy, its mystery. Lightning is nature's most dramatic expression of balance. A bridge between earth and sky, between charge and release, between silence and sound. Inside a storm cloud, particles of ice and water collide. Some become positively charged, others negative. They separate into layers, the positive rising to the top, the negative sinking to the bottom. The tension builds silently, invisible, until the difference becomes too great to contain. And then nature does what it always does. It seeks harmony. A path forms faster than thought, and in less than 1,000th of a second, the sky ignites. That flash of light you see isn't just a spark, it's the atmosphere exhaling. It's the world equalizing itself. Did you know a single bolt of lightning can reach temperatures 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun? Or that each bolt carries enough energy to power an entire house for a month? And yet, it doesn't come from nowhere. It's built molecule by molecule, moment by moment, a storm gathering strength in silence, until the invisible becomes undeniable. There's something poetic about that. That power is not born from chaos, but from imbalance seeking peace. Lightning doesn't just strike randomly, it carries purpose. Every flash helps balance the global electrical field that surrounds our planet. It even helps fertilize the soil when lightning strikes. It splits nitrogen molecules in the air, allowing them to combine with oxygen. These compounds fall with the rain, feeding the roots of plants. In a sense, lightning writes life into the ground. Each bolt, a brief moment of creation disguised as destruction. You can imagine ancient humans watching those same flashes thousands of years ago, seeing them as messages from gods, torches thrown from the heavens, symbols of creation, destruction, and rebirth. And in a way, they weren't wrong, because lightning is sacred, not in myth, but in matter. It's the purest moment of energy transforming the universe, showing us its pulse. Even more incredible is what happens above the clouds, high in the atmosphere, where thunderheads scrape the edge of space. There exist rare and ghostly lights, sprites, elves, and blue jets. They shimmer briefly. Invisible to most eyes, sprites dance in crimson webs far above storms. Elves expand like glowing rings, spreading hundreds of miles in a blink. Blue jets shoot upward from the clouds, like ocean waves turned upside down. These aren't legends, they're real phenomena, glimpses of Earth's electric crown. They remind us that the planet isn't just alive, it's luminous, a glowing circuit in the grand machine of the cosmos. And deep inside you, the same principles exist. Your nerves carry electrical signals that let you think, feel, and dream. Tiny charges leap from one neuron to another, billions of times every second. Your heartbeat is an electrical event, a rhythm sparked by cells pulsing in unison. In a strange and beautiful symmetry, lightning and life share the same essence, the same spark, the same drive to connect. You are, in every way, made of the same electricity that dances in storms. Now, imagine the storm fading, the flashes growing slower, the thunder moving farther away, each sound gentler than the one before. You can almost feel the calm returning. The rain begins, soft, rhythmic, cleansing. It taps against leaves, puddles, and rooftops, and in that steady pattern, the chaos becomes calm again. The earth exhales. The storm's energy dissolves into silence. And you, lying beneath the fading clouds, feel the same peace, settle into your body. There's a lesson hidden in every lightning storm, that tension always seeks release. That imbalance always finds its way back to harmony, and that sometimes the brightest moments happen right in the middle of the darkest skies. When you feel pressure building in your own life, the storm within your thoughts, remember this rhythm. The tension you feel is not permanent. It's simply nature preparing you for balance. And just like the sky, you will find your calm again. After every flash, there comes quiet. After every thunder, there comes rest. So, as the echoes of the storm fade, let your body sink deeper into stillness, your breath becoming slower, your thoughts dissolving into the quiet hum of night. You can almost hear the faint whisper of static in the air, like the last traces of lightning fading far beyond the horizon. It feels as though the world itself is sighing in relief, everything returning to balance, everything at peace. And as you drift with that calm, another story begins to awaken. This one not in the sky, but deep beneath your feet, where ancient fires still burn and mountains slowly breathe, where heat and pressure move with the patience of eternity. Let's journey there next, into the secret heart of the earth, where power sleeps beneath stone and time, waiting quietly to rise again. Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the ground you walk on, beneath the soil, the roots? The quiet hum of life above, deep below the surface, where sunlight has never reached. There is another world, one made of fire, pressure, and molten stone. A place that moves so slowly we rarely notice it, and yet every mountain, every island, every continent you've ever known was born from that secret ocean of fire. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a volcanic plain. The air is still, the horizon endless, the ground beneath your feet warm. You can smell the faint scent of sulfur, sharp and ancient. The sky above you glows faintly orange, like the world itself is breathing. And then, somewhere far in the distance, you hear it, a low, distant rumble. Not thunder, not wind, but something older, deeper. The voice of the earth, stirring in its sleep. It's strange to think that the calm planet beneath you is not solid all the way through. That just a few dozen kilometers down, everything begins to change. Rock softens, pressure rises, and temperature climbs beyond comprehension. The Earth's crust, that thin layer we call home, floats atop a sea of molten stone called the mantle. And beneath that, near the core, the heat burns hotter than the surface of the sun. It is from this heart of fire that mountains rise, oceans shift, and continents drift like slow-moving dreams. Did you know that the ground beneath you moves constantly? That the continents glide across the planet's surface like great rafts, each one carried by invisible currents of molten rock. Every earthquake, every eruption, every trembling of the ground is the earth whispering that it is alive, that its power does not sleep, it only waits. Volcanoes are among the most breathtaking expressions of that power. They are the lungs of the earth, places where the planet exhales. Each eruption, though fierce and violent, is part of a natural cycle. When pressure builds deep within, it seeks release, and when the earth opens, the molten heart inside spills upward, creating new land, feeding new soil. Even as it destroys what came before, it gives birth to something new. Imagine standing before one of these giants, Mount Etna in Italy, Or Kilauea in Hawaii. You see rivers of fire flowing down the slopes, glowing against the night. The sound is like nothing else, a low roar, steady and endless. You can feel it through your body, a vibration that hums in your bones. And though it seems chaotic, it is precise, almost rhythmic. Each pulse of magma is the earth breathing, a cycle of creation that has been repeating for billions of years. Long before humans ever appeared, volcanoes shaped the land we walk upon. They built islands in the middle of vast oceans. They created the continents themselves. The fertile soil that feeds forests and farms owes its richness to ancient ash. Even the air we breathe was partly formed by volcanic gases that escaped the Earth's core. You and I and everything alive exist because the planet found a way to release its fire. But there is more to this story, something more mysterious still. Beneath every volcano lies a complex network of tunnels and chambers, vast caverns filled with molten stone, shifting under unimaginable pressure. Scientists call them magma chambers, but they are more like the beating hearts of mountains. Sometimes they sleep for centuries, other times they stir suddenly, sending tremors through the crust. A single spark, a change in pressure, a tiny fracture, that's all it takes, and the mountain awakens. Did you know that beneath Yellowstone National Park lies one of the largest known magma systems on Earth? A supervolcano large enough to reshape entire landscapes if it ever fully erupted. But don't worry, it's been resting for hundreds of thousands of years. Slowly breathing, slowly cooling, its heat fuels geysers, hot springs, and steaming pools that shimmer in every color of the spectrum. It's a reminder that even in rest, the planet's fire never fully fades. Deep below, at the very center of the Earth, lies the core, a sphere of iron and nickel spinning faster than the crust above it. Its movement creates the magnetic field that protects our planet from cosmic radiation. Without that invisible shield, the solar wind would strip away our atmosphere. Every compass that points north is simply echoing the motion of that hidden metal heart. You could say the Earth has its own heartbeat, a slow, powerful rhythm made of molten iron and fire, and yet, for all its intensity, the planet's fire is also strangely peaceful. It reminds us that life and destruction are not opposites. They are partners in the same dance. Every eruption creates as much as it destroys. Every flow of lava will one day cool into solid rock, and in time, that rock will become the foundation for forests, rivers, and cities, even in its fiercest moments. Nature is always working toward renewal. As you listen to this, imagine yourself deep underground, walking through a glowing cavern where walls pulse softly with light. The heat around you is warm but not burning. The air hums with quiet energy. You can feel the pulse of the earth all around you. Every heartbeat of magma, every ripple of heat, it feels alive, as if the planet itself is dreaming of mountains, oceans, and forests yet to come. And as you stand there, in the heart of this vast inner world, you realize something, that this fire, this endless power, has always been there. It shaped the land you call home. It built the ground beneath your feet. It gave rise to the soil that grows your food, the minerals in your blood, the warmth in your heart. You are made of the earth's fire, cooled into form, a spark of the same energy that glows beneath the crust. So, tonight, as you rest, remember this. Beneath your quiet room, beneath the cities, beneath the mountains and seas, there is an ancient warmth still burning, patient, steady, eternal. It does not rush. It does not rage. It simply is, and it waits. As the world above changes, sleeps, and dreams, the fire continues, deep and calm, like the slow pulse of time itself. Now, as we leave the molten depths and rise once more toward the surface, you can feel the cool air return, the ground beneath you solid and steady, the stars above shining through the thinning clouds, and far away, the sound of waves begins to return, for next, we'll drift into the realm of the ocean again, but this time not its surface. We'll descend into its hidden depths, where darkness glows, where life exists without sunlight, and where the mysteries of the deep wait silently beneath the tides of the sleeping world. Have you ever looked out over the sea at night? That endless expanse of darkness stretching toward the horizon, and wondered what secrets lie hidden beneath its surface? What dreams and creatures drift through the silent world below? The ocean holds more mystery than any other place on Earth. It covers 70% of our planet, yet we've explored less than 5% of its depths. It is a living, breathing universe, vast, ancient, and almost entirely unseen. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of the world, a moonlit shoreline stretching endlessly in both directions. The waves roll in softly, glowing faintly under the pale silver light. The water laps at your feet, cool, rhythmic, alive. You take a deep breath and step forward. The sea rises around you, first at your knees, then your waist. And before you know it, you're floating, carried gently into the calm pulse of the tide. Now, let yourself drift downward, slowly, as though gravity has reversed and you're falling upward into the sea. The light above begins to fade. The water grows darker, thicker, quieter. The surface disappears, and the world becomes blue, endless, silent blue. You pass through the sunlight zone, where most of the life we know exists. Fish dart through coral forests. Sea turtles glide effortlessly, their movements graceful and eternal. Schools of silverfish shimmer like liquid mirrors. Everything sparkles, dances, moves in rhythm with the light. But even here, beneath the surface, you can feel something deeper calling, a pull toward the unknown, so you follow. Drifting lower into shadow, soon you reach the twilight zone, where sunlight fades into faint whispers, colors shift to gray and blue. The pressure builds, heavy and constant. It feels like the weight of time itself, pressing gently against you. Here, strange creatures move through the dark. Long, thin fish with glassy bodies, jellyfish that pulse with their own inner light, as if the ocean has created its own stars to replace the ones above. Did you know that some jellyfish are nearly immortal? When faced with death, they can revert to their younger form, starting their life cycle over again. In the deep ocean, time doesn't move as it does on land. It bends, stretches, flows differently. There is no day or night, only the eternal twilight of the sea. Deeper still lies the midnight zone. Here, the pressure is immense, over 500 times what you feel at the surface. And yet, life thrives. Creatures here create their own light. Bioluminescent beings drift through the dark, like living constellations. Tiny plankton flash when disturbed anglerfish glow with eerie lures hanging before their faces. Squids streak by, leaving trails of blue and green fire. It's as if the universe has turned itself inside out, and the stars now live beneath the waves in this silent kingdom. Everything has adapted to survive the impossible. Eyes have grown enormous to catch the faintest glimmer of light. Bodies have become transparent, invisible in the darkness. Some creatures have no bones at all, their soft forms shaped only by the pressure that holds them together. It's a world of beauty and danger, a place where evolution writes poetry in the dark. Did you know that in the deepest trench on Earth, the Mariana Trench, the pressure is over 8 tons per square inch? If you were to stand there, your body would be crushed instantly, and yet, even there, life exists. Tiny microbes, delicate snails, ghostly fish, living in silence, thriving where no sunlight has ever touched. They survive on chemicals rising from vents in the ocean floor, hydrothermal vents that spew water hotter than boiling. And yet, these waters are surrounded by life. Crabs, worms, and strange white shrimp gather around the heat like campers at a fire. In the coldest, darkest places on Earth, warmth and creation still find a way. It's here, in these vents, that many scientists believe life on Earth began billions of years ago, before the first sunlight reached the oceans. Before there were forests or birds or even clouds, there were only these black vents, breathing heat and minerals into the ancient sea. From them, the first living cells may have formed. Tiny sparks of energy wrapped in fragile membranes, and from those first sparks, everything that lives today, including you, was born. When you think about it, every heartbeat, every breath, is an echo of that first warmth rising from the deep. The ocean is the memory of the planet. It holds the stories of every storm, every age, every creature that has ever lived. Its waves are shaped by the pull of the moon. Its currents travel the entire globe, carrying heat, nutrients, and even whispers of sound from one end of the world to the other. Whales use these deep currents like invisible highways, their songs traveling hundreds of miles through the water. Have you ever heard a whale's song that long? Low sound that seems to come from the heart of the earth. It's one of the oldest songs in existence, a melody of navigation, communication, and memory. Some whales sing to remember their paths. Some sing to call others home. In a way, they are the ocean's storytellers, their voices carrying through time itself. Now imagine yourself drifting deeper still, into a place where no human has ever gone. The light from the surface is long gone. The glow of life around you fades until there is only darkness. But it's not an empty darkness. It feels alive, vast, as though the ocean itself is dreaming. You can hear your own heartbeat echoing softly through the water. And then, for a brief moment, you see a flicker, a tiny pulse of light. Maybe a creature watching you from afar. Or maybe just the ocean breathing in this stillness. There's something profoundly peaceful, a sense that everything here exists exactly as it should. No rush, no noise, no struggle for more, just the slow, eternal rhythm of the sea. If you listen closely, you can almost feel the ocean's pulse matching your own. Its tides rising and falling like your breath. Its silence wrapping around you like a lullaby. And as you float there, weightless.com, you begin to feel the connection that the water you float in now is the same water that once rose as vapor into the sky, the same that fell as rain flowed through rivers and returned to the sea, the same that moves through your body, your blood, your tears. The ocean isn't separate from you, it is you. You are made of its rhythm, its memory, its calm. Now, as you slowly rise toward the surface, the darkness begins to fade. A faint silver glow filters down from above. The pressure eases, your body feels lighter. You see the first glimmer of starlight through the water. The waves shimmer gently, the world grows warm again. You break the surface, drawing in a slow, quiet breath. The air is cool. The night sky vast and bright. You look up, and the stars reflect on the calm sea like endless mirrors. Above and below, light and reflection merge. And for a moment, you can't tell where the ocean ends and the sky begins. The waves cradle you softly, the air still. You close your eyes and float, feeling the pulse of the world beneath you, the heartbeat of the deep echoing gently through the water. And as you drift, another force begins to call, one even older than the sea, something woven into the fabric of the stars themselves. Let's follow that rhythm next as we journey beyond the earth, into the quiet gravity of the cosmos, where time and space fold softly into infinity, and the sleeping universe dreams of itself. Have you ever wondered what holds you to the earth? What keeps the moon circling above? What invisible thread keeps the stars from drifting apart into the endless black? Gravity, that gentle, constant pull. It's the silent architect of everything you've ever known. It keeps your feet grounded, your breath steady. It shapes the motion of oceans, planets, galaxies, even time itself. Imagine you're standing beneath a night sky so clear you can see the Milky Way stretch across it, each star suspended, glittering.com. The air is still, and you can almost feel a quiet tug from above, a whisper of motion, like the earth breathing beneath your feet. You close your eyes and picture the force holding it all together, a thread that begins under your feet and stretches all the way to the edge of the universe. Unseen, unbroken, eternal. Now, take a slow breath and let your body relax. Imagine the air around you shimmering softly, particles of light swirling in slow motion. And somewhere beyond your awareness, you can sense that pull, not a weight, but a softness, a presence that says, stay, you are part of this, you belong here. Gravity began with the birth of everything. In the very first instant, after the Big Bang, the universe expanded in a flash of light, but not evenly. Some areas were slightly denser than others. Those tiny differences, those small imperfections, were enough for gravity to take hold. It began to draw matter together, slowly, patiently, pulling gas into clouds, clouds into stars, stars into galaxies, and galaxies into the vast cosmic web that stretches across all of existence. Did you know that without gravity, the universe would still be an endless mist of particles? No stars, no planets, no warmth, no you. Every heartbeat, every sunrise exists because gravity brought chaos into order. It is the universe's most elegant form of stillness, a calm, quiet pull that shapes eternity. Picture yourself floating above Earth. You're weightless, drifting in silence below you. The blue marble turns slowly. White clouds swirl across its surface. The oceans gleam like liquid glass. And yet, you feel a subtle tug, the Earth's invisible hand pulling you home. That pull is only 9.8 meters per second squared, but it's enough to bind oceans, mountains, and moons. It's enough to make the tides rise and fall. It's enough to make you feel safe, held, connected. Did you know the moon's gravity moves billions of tons of water every single day? When it rises, it stretches the oceans toward it, creating tides that breathe with the rhythm of the heavens. If you stand by the sea at night, you can actually feel that motion in the air, a slow, steady inhale and exhale of the planet itself. It's the closest thing to hearing the Earth's heartbeat, a song of balance and motion that never ends. But gravity doesn't just pull, it shapes time. The closer you are to a massive object, the slower time moves. This isn't just theory, it's been proven, measured, tested. Astronauts who orbit high above the Earth experience time slightly faster than we do. Their clocks tick ahead by fractions of a second, and when they return, they've lived just a little less time than we have. It's as though gravity itself bends the rhythm of reality, making time flow like a slow cosmic river, ebbing and stretching under its influence. Now imagine drifting deeper into space, away from Earth, past the moon, past the orbit of Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. You're gliding through the quiet dark. The stars are no longer just points of light. They shimmer, pulse, and burn with ancient energy. And yet, even here, so far from home, you can still feel gravity. It reaches across impossible distances, a whisper that travels through the void. It's faint, but constant. A thread that says, everything is still connected. Scientists once thought of gravity as an invisible force, but Einstein showed us something deeper. He said that gravity isn't a pull at all. It's the shape of space and time itself. Mass bends the fabric of the universe, like a ball resting on a stretched sheet. Planets move not because they're being tugged, but because space itself is curved around them. You're not being pulled to Earth. You're simply following the curve of space-time, riding the gentle slope of reality. Let's imagine that you're drifting in a dark sea of stars, and before you stretches an endless, invisible fabric, every planet, star, and galaxy resting on it like luminous beads on silk. As each object presses down, the fabric dips and folds, and those folds guide the dance of the cosmos. You can almost see the motion, slow, graceful, eternal. Each world moving not by force, but by flow. The universe as a great, soft blanket that cradles everything in its curve. Now imagine falling into that curve, not a fall of fear, but of surrender, a fall into peace. You're gliding along the bends of space-time, past the edges of stars, past black holes where gravity becomes so strong that even light cannot escape, and yet there's beauty even there. At the edge of a black hole, time itself stops, light freezes. The universe holds its breath, and for one impossible instant, everything becomes still. Did you know that at the center of our galaxy, there's a black hole 4,000,000 times the mass of our sun, and yet it sits there, quietly, invisible, surrounded by a storm of stars? It doesn't devour them, it guides them, holding the entire galaxy in its orbit like a slow cosmic waltz. We are dancing around that silence every moment of our lives. Every sunrise, every moonrise, is a reflection of that gravitational dance. You see, gravity isn't just a force. It's a relationship. It's connection made visible. Everything in existence is linked by it. You, the moon, the stars, the oceans, the smallest grain of dust drifting through the void. Every atom feels the presence of every other atom. A constant, silent conversation between everything that is. You are literally connected to the stars, not just metaphorically, but physically. Their mass pulls on you, just as you pull on them. Every breath you take slightly shifts the balance of the cosmos, infinitesimally small, but real. You are part of that gravitational web, a living note in the music of the universe. Now, imagine that thread, that quiet, invisible pull that binds everything. It flows through you, through your heartbeat, through your breath, through the pulse of the earth beneath you, the stars above, the oceans in between. It is the same thread that guided the first atoms into galaxies, the same that brings you peace as you drift to sleep. When you lie still and feel your body sinking gently into the bed, that's gravity cradling you, holding you, whispering that you are safe. You are not falling. You are resting in the arms of the universe. The same arms that hold planets in orbit, the same arms that shaped the stars, the same arms that will carry you through time. Unbroken, eternal, calm. And as you feel that weight, not of burden, but of belonging, you realize gravity is love, love in its purest, most universal form, the quiet pull that keeps everything from drifting apart. The unseen embrace that connects all things, every drop of rain, every orbit, every heartbeat, all part of one infinite, gentle motion. So let yourself drift in that motion. Let it carry you, softly, beyond thought, beyond fear, beyond time. For the next chapter of our journey awaits, a force not of pull, but of push. The mysterious energy that stretches the universe wider each moment. The quiet power of dark energy, where space itself expands, and the cosmos continues its endless dream. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt that strange mixture of awe and loneliness? That quiet realization that the stars are not still, that they are moving, that everything in the universe is stretching, drifting away in silence. Have you ever wondered what force could be so vast, so gentle, and yet so unstoppable, that it can move galaxies apart without a sound? It's called dark energy, a name so simple, yet it hides one of the deepest mysteries in all of science. A force we cannot see, cannot touch, cannot feel, and yet it surrounds us. It fills the empty spaces between galaxies. It weaves through the very fabric of space-time, expanding everything, the stars, the galaxies, even the space between the atoms that make up your body. Imagine yourself floating far beyond our Milky Way, in a place where galaxies are scattered like islands of light on an infinite sea. There's no up or down, no sound, no air, only the silent shimmer of the cosmos. And then, slowly, you notice something. Everything is drifting away. Each galaxy, each cluster of stars, moving gently, steadily, not toward anything, but outward, like a slow breath, like the universe itself is exhaling. Billions of years ago, the universe was smaller, denser, and brighter. Galaxies crowded closer together. Light traveled shorter paths, but now everything is stretching. Every second that passes, more space is created, quietly, invisibly, endlessly. You can't see it happen. But the light from distant stars carries the evidence. Their colors shift, stretching toward red, a cosmic fingerprint of expansion, a sign that everything is moving farther apart. When scientists first discovered this, they were astonished. They expected gravity to slow the universe down, to pull everything back together someday, but instead, the opposite was true. The expansion wasn't slowing, it was speeding up. Something unknown was pushing the universe outward, something no telescope could detect, something we named dark energy because it defies understanding. It's not light, not matter, not anything we can hold. It's simply the quiet pressure of existence itself. Picture a vast balloon inflating in total silence, not because air is filling it, but because the very space inside it is growing. That's what's happening to the universe. Every galaxy, every atom, every beam of light, riding along on this invisible tide of expansion. And it's not just happening out there, it's happening here, right now, in this moment, in the empty space between your breaths. Did you know that dark energy makes up nearly 70% of the entire universe? That means most of reality is something we cannot see or even fully define. Only 5% of the universe, the stars, planets, dust, and you, is made of normal matter. The rest is the invisible architecture of everything. Dark matter holds galaxies together, and dark energy pushes them apart, the two in perfect tension, creating a balance between cohesion and expansion, between holding and releasing, between gravity's embrace and the universe's breath. It's humbling to realize, isn't it, that we live inside something so vast that even our finest instruments can only hint at its edges. The galaxies we see are like lanterns glowing faintly in an endless night. But the darkness between them isn't empty. It's alive with motion, with purpose, with quiet power. Imagine drifting through that cosmic night, each galaxy a glittering swirl far below you. They're not colliding or swirling in chaos. They're gliding away from one another, gracefully, patiently, like dancers moving apart at the end of a slow waltz. You can almost hear it, not a sound, but a feeling, a vibration of expansion, the heartbeat of infinity. And yet, even this grand movement carries a mystery deeper still. Because dark energy doesn't behave like anything else. It doesn't thin out as the universe grows. It stays constant. As space expands, there's more dark energy, endless, tireless, always pushing outward. It's as if the universe is creating room for itself to dream, to explore what it could become, to stretch its arms toward eternity. Some scientists wonder if dark energy is the very breath of space itself, that it is not something in the universe, but the universe, alive, expanding, conscious in its own quiet way. Others think it may be a field, a kind of invisible sea that hums with potential, and we, drifting on our small blue planet, are simply waves upon that sea, tiny, temporary, and yet part of the same endless motion. There's something deeply peaceful about that, the idea that expansion is not chaos, but calm, not destruction, but growth. Every second, the universe becomes a little larger, a little more spacious, a little more filled with possibility. And in some small way, so do you. Every thought you think, every dream you breathe into being, expands the tiny universe inside your mind. The same principle, mirrored in miniature. Your consciousness and the cosmos moving together, expanding in silent unity. You might wonder, will it ever stop? Will the universe keep growing forever? Or will it someday reach its edge and rest? No one knows. Some believe it will stretch endlessly, cooling, dimming, until galaxies drift so far apart that their light can no longer reach one another. A cosmic quiet, not of tragedy, but of completion. Others think it may pulse, expand, contract, expand again. A breathing universe that never truly ends, just cycles over and over, like waves upon an infinite shore. And perhaps that rhythm exists within you too. The inhale and exhale of life, the rise and fall of thought, the ebb and flow of emotion. You are not separate from the universe. You are a continuation of it, a fragment of its unfolding. Your heartbeat is part of its pulse, your breath part of its expansion. You carry the same quiet energy that drives galaxies apart, and the same gravity that pulls them together. You are balance. You are both the breath and the stillness between breaths. Now imagine lying back and feeling that motion. A vast, invisible wave expanding beneath you. You are floating on it, safe, effortless, every heartbeat sending ripples into the infinite. You can feel yourself expanding too, your awareness softening at the edges, your thoughts growing quieter, your body becoming weightless. You are drifting with the universe, stretching outward into peace. There's no need to hold on. The expansion will carry you, the night sky will cradle you, and the silence will sing to you. For the universe is not cold or distant. It is a living, breathing ocean. And you are a wave, a spark of awareness in the grand unfolding of space and time. So let go. Let the expansion continue. Let your mind drift with it. For what comes next is not emptiness, but creation, where expansion gives birth to new worlds, where stars are born, and the night breathes light again. Now rest, and drift with me toward the next horizon, where dark energy yields to the next wonder, the birth of stars. The glowing forges where matter learns to shine. We'll journey there next, into the heart of starlight, where creation hums softly, and the universe becomes art. Have you ever wondered how the first light was born? Before there were suns, before there was warmth, before there were colors in the sky, there was only darkness, endless, cold, and still, and yet, hidden within that darkness, the seeds of light were already waiting, tiny whispers of matter scattered through the universe, carried on invisible winds of gravity, until one day they began to gather. Picture yourself drifting through the ancient cosmos. The universe is young, only a few 100 million years old. There are no stars yet, no galaxies, only vast clouds of hydrogen gas floating silently through the dark. You move through them like a dream. They stretch for light years in every direction, soft and formless, and yet something is changing within them. A gentle pull, an unseen rhythm, a force gathering the dust of creation into something more. At first, the motion is slow, atoms drifting, colliding, merging. The gas begins to clump. Gravity pulls tighter. The temperature begins to rise, and deep within the densest heart of the cloud, a tiny spark is born, a fragment of light so faint it could be mistaken for imagination. But that spark grows, it glows from within. The pressure increases, and suddenly, the darkness isn't empty anymore. a star is being born. The process is as old as time, and yet every single time it happens, it feels like the first sunrise of the universe inside the collapsing cloud. Hydrogen atoms press together under immense heat and pressure. They fuse, becoming helium in that moment. Energy is released, pure light, and a star ignites. A tiny sun begins to breathe, its radiance piercing the cosmic night, turning chaos into beauty and stillness into song. Did you know that every single star you see in the sky tonight was born from this same process? Every point of light, a story of gravity, heat, and time. The smallest red dwarfs, the largest blue giants, all born from clouds of dust and gas, all sculpted by the same invisible hands. And though we see them as permanent, each star is alive, with a heartbeat, a rhythm, a beginning, and an end. Imagine drifting closer to one now, a newborn star glowing inside its nebula, a cradle of light. Swirling gas wraps around it like a cocoon, shimmering in soft blues, violets, and golds. The air vibrates with heat and energy. The star flickers, sometimes faint, sometimes fierce, as it learns to balance itself between collapse and expansion. It's breathing, in a way, inhaling gravity, exhaling light. The same balance that keeps your own heart beating exists here too, on a cosmic scale. Nebulae, these cradles of stars, are among the most beautiful things in the universe. The Orion Nebula, the pillars of creation, the Carina Nebula, each one a cathedral of dust and light, where new suns are constantly being born. The gases glow in soft pinks and deep blues. Starlight filters through the haze, casting gentle shadows on worlds yet to exist. You could spend 1,000 years drifting among them and still never tire of their beauty. For every wisp of color tells a story of something becoming. And did you know, every atom in your body, every molecule in your bones and breath, was forged inside a star long before Earth ever formed? Stars are not just lights in the sky. They are the furnaces of creation when they die. They scatter their elements into space. Iron, carbon, oxygen, gold, all the building blocks of life, thrown into the universe like seeds. And from those seeds, new stars, new planets, and eventually, new life are born. So when you look at the stars, you are not looking at something distant. You are looking at your own origin, your cosmic ancestry, written in light. Think of a massive star nearing the end of its life. Its fuel nearly spent, it grows unstable, expanding into a red giant, its surface swelling until it could swallow entire planets, and then, in one last act of brilliance, it explodes, a supernova, brighter than entire galaxies. For a brief, blinding moment, it outshines everything else in that explosion. All the heavy elements, iron for your blood, calcium for your bones, gold for your jewelry, are created in a single, magnificent flash and scattered into the cosmos, to be reborn again, someday, as something new. That's what makes the night sky such a wonder. Every star you see is not just a light, it's a story, a memory, a promise. The universe recycling itself endlessly, stars dying so that others may live, light fading in one place, only to be reborn in another. It's a cosmic symphony of transformation, one that never ends. Now, imagine floating among these newborn stars, You drift through clouds of gas that shimmer with soft light. You can almost hear them hum, a frequency so deep and slow it's more feeling than sound. It vibrates gently through you, the rhythm of birth, creation in progress. As you move, you see worlds beginning to form around the young stars. Tiny disks of dust swirling in slow spirals. Planets taking shape. Some will be barren and cold. Others may someday bloom with oceans and forests. Perhaps even life. All of it born from the light of a dying star. All of it part of the same endless cycle. There's something comforting about that. Isn't there, the thought that nothing truly ends? That everything transforms, that darkness is not the opposite of light, but its birthplace. Every ending a beginning in disguise. Every shadow a promise waiting to glow. And just as stars rise from the void, so too do we, each of us carrying a fragment of that first light, that first explosion of creation, still burning quietly in our souls. So when you lie beneath the stars tonight and see their soft, trembling light across the sky, remember this, that you are not small. You are not separate. You are part of the same story, made from the same dust, burning with the same fire. You are the universe, remembering itself, looking up at its own reflection, and smiling. Now, let your breath slow. Let the image of those glowing nebulae fill your mind. The colors fading softly into the dark, each star like a lullaby, each beam of light a gentle whisper saying, "You are made of starlight. You are safe. You are home." And as the light fades, we turn to the next mystery, the places where stars are born no longer, but where they rest, where the remnants of their power twist time itself, waiting in silence at the edge of everything. Our next journey into the black holes, the sleeping hearts of collapsed stars, where gravity becomes infinity and time stands still. Welcome back to Science in Sleeping. Tonight, we drift toward one of the universe's strangest, most mesmerizing wonders, the black hole, a place where light disappears, where gravity grows so intense that even time itself slows to a crawl, where the laws of physics begin to tremble, and everything we know about reality starts to unravel. So take a deep breath, let your shoulders sink into comfort. Let the stars above you fade softly into shadow, because tonight we travel to the edge of the possible, to the silent heart of cosmic mystery, where creation meets its opposite and the universe hides its deepest secrets. Imagine drifting through space, a slow glide across infinite darkness. Galaxies shimmer like distant candles, and then you see it, a region where the stars curve strangely, their light bending, twisting, as if drawn toward something unseen. You can't quite tell where it begins, but you feel it, a pull, deep and irresistible, like gravity whispering your name. That's the event horizon, the invisible border surrounding a black hole, a threshold beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape. It's not a surface, not a wall, but a point of no return, a boundary between the known universe and a place where time itself ceases to behave. The story of a black hole begins, strangely enough, with a star, a massive star, far greater than our sun. It burns bright and hot for millions of years, fusing hydrogen into helium, helium into carbon, building heavier and heavier elements in its fiery core, until one day it can no longer sustain the weight of its own gravity. The balance breaks, the core collapses inward in an instant, and the outer layers explode outward in a spectacular supernova for a brief, brilliant moment. The star outshines entire galaxies, and then it dies. All that remains is its core, a remnant so dense, so heavy, that it crushes itself beyond recognition. The atoms collapse, the space between them vanishes. Matter becomes a singularity, a single point of infinite density, and thus a black hole is born. Think about that for a moment. A star that once illuminated the heavens now exists as an invisible void, a shadow that swallows even light, a place where time stands still, yet its presence is far from silent. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Black holes distort space around them like a whirlpool in water. Stars orbit them, gas spirals toward them, and as the matter falls in, it glows fiercely, releasing the last of its light before being devoured. This is the accretion disk, a halo of furious energy, the final scream of falling starlight. Now, let's drift closer. You move slowly, carefully. The black hole grows larger ahead of you, its edges shimmer with warped light. You can't tell where space ends and where it begins. You see the stars behind it curve their light, bending around the invisible gravity. A phenomenon called gravitational lensing. It's as if space itself is made of glass, and the black hole is pressing its weight upon it, distorting everything around it as you draw near the event horizon. Time begins to behave strangely. If someone were watching you from a distance, they would see you slow down, your movements stretching longer and longer, until, to them, you would appear frozen at the edge. But from your own view, time moves normally. You cross the threshold, and everything changes. You are no longer part of the visible universe. You are falling inward, deeper and deeper inside. Space bends toward infinity. You no longer fall in straight lines. You fall along the fabric of curved space-time. The gravitational pull is so strong that every path leads inward. There is no escape route, no reverse, only descent. It's not death in the ordinary sense. It's transformation, the universe folding in on itself. A kind of cosmic sleep, an eternal silence. Scientists believe that at the core, at the singularity, the known laws of physics collapse. Equations no longer make sense. Time and space may exchange roles. Matter ceases to exist as we understand it. It's as if the universe hides the truth of its own beginnings within these singularities. Because, in many ways, a black hole might be a mirror of creation, the reverse of the Big Bang, where everything expands outward. Here, everything collapses inward. Two opposites, two sides of the same cosmic coin. And here's where the mystery deepens even more. What happens inside a black hole? Is it truly an end, or could it be a doorway? A tunnel through space-time, a wormhole leading to another universe, another reality. It sounds like science fiction, and yet the mathematics doesn't entirely forbid it. Einstein's equations leave the door open, just slightly, for something unimaginable to exist beyond the event horizon. Picture it, a bridge between universes, a path from one point in space to another, or perhaps even a tunnel from one moment in time to another. Some physicists believe that at the other end of a black hole there could be a white hole, a place that does the opposite, where matter and light are expelled. not absorbed, a mirror twin, bright where the other is dark, creative where the other is destructive. But so far, no one has seen one. Perhaps because they exist beyond the veil of our understanding, hidden in the mathematics of the cosmos, waiting for us to evolve enough to see. Black holes come in many sizes. Some are small, just a few times the mass of our sun. Others are supermassive, lurking at the centers of galaxies, including our own Milky Way. Our galaxy's heart, Sagittarius A*, is one such giant, 4 million times the mass of the sun, yet invisible. We know it's there only because of how the stars near it move, orbiting nothing, whirling at impossible speeds, as if pulled by a ghost. And that ghost is the black hole, silent, ancient, patient, a gravitational monarch ruling the galactic core. And here's the wonder: without black holes, galaxies might never have formed as they did. These dark hearts may shape the very structure of the universe, organizing the dance of stars and planets, balancing the cosmic order. So even in their darkness, they give form to light. Even in their silence, they compose the symphony of creation. Now imagine drifting back from the edge. You've seen the event horizon. You've felt time slow. You've glimpsed the invisible power that holds galaxies together. The black hole fades into the distance, a perfect circle of night, framed by glowing matter, a quiet eye in the storm of creation. And you, still floating, still breathing, realize something profound. The universe is not built of opposites, but of harmony, light and dark, creation and collapse, life and death. They all exist as one, feeding into each other, endlessly transforming. Just as stars are born from dust, so too does dust return to the stars. Just as time begins somewhere, so too it may pause somewhere else, maybe even here, in this eternal sleep of light. So rest now. Let your mind drift like starlight spiraling into silence. Let the pull of gravity lull you into stillness. You are safe. You are floating at the edge of everything, where light falls silent, and time itself takes a breath. Now close your eyes. Feel the hum of the cosmos in your heartbeat. And remember, even in the deepest darkness, you are made of the same light that stars once gave, the same light that black holes guard, the same light that never truly dies, only transforms, only sleeps until it is born again. Have you ever noticed how time behaves differently in your dreams? How minutes can stretch into hours, or how you can live through an entire lifetime in what feels like the span of a few breaths? Have you ever wondered why time slows down when you're in awe, and speeds up when you're busy or afraid? What is time, really? A clock on the wall, a heartbeat in the dark, or something deeper, woven into the structure of everything? Tonight, we drift into the mystery of time itself, not the ticking human version we measure with watches, but the fluid, cosmic time, the kind that stretches and folds, that dances between moments, that makes eternity possible. Close your eyes, feel the seconds soften, and let's slip into the current. Picture yourself standing on a cliff at twilight, the horizon stretching infinitely, the stars not yet awake, the ocean below moving with a calm, endless rhythm, each wave curling toward the shore, each one older than memory. You feel the cool air brushing against your skin, and the world seems to pause. There is no before or after, only this, the in-between, where time becomes soft, like a breath drawn but not yet released. Now imagine the universe not as a stage, but as a fabric, a living weave of space and time. Einstein called it space-time, and in this fabric, every event, every star, every heartbeat, every dream is stitched together. The weight of planets, the pull of gravity, all these things bend the fabric. They shape how time flows. Where gravity grows stronger, time moves slower. Where space expands, time stretches. And everything you've ever known, your past, your future, your now, exists together, not as a line, but as a shimmering, folded pattern. Einstein once said that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubborn illusion. And yet, our minds cling to it, because without it, the world feels like a dream. But maybe that's exactly what it is, a cosmic dream, where consciousness is the observer, watching moments unfold across the waves of time. Let's drift deeper into that thought. When you sleep, your brain doesn't shut off. It travels, it rewinds, it predicts, it plays with time. Neurons fire in patterns that resemble both memory and imagination. Your mind relives old experiences, mixes them with fragments of possibility, and constructs something new, a dream. But in this inner world, time is untethered. Your childhood can exist beside your future. You can move from one place to another instantly. You can live a story that lasts for days, even though only minutes pass outside your pillow. Scientists call this a form of temporal compression. Your brain, freed from the body's sense of rhythm, processes emotion, sensation, and thought at a speed unmatched by waking life. In sleep, time obeys emotion, not logic. Moments of fear stretch long. Moments of joy pass like sparks in the dream world. You are both the traveler and the storyteller, both observer and creator, and just like space-time itself, you bend time without realizing it. Now, let's widen the lens. Out there in the universe, time bends for reasons just as strange. When you get close to a black hole, time slows down. The deeper you fall into gravity's grip, the slower the seconds flow. To someone watching from afar, you seem frozen, suspended on the edge of forever. But from your perspective, everything feels normal. The paradox of relativity, the truth that time is not universal, it is personal. It depends on where you are and how fast you move. This means that somewhere, right now, time is moving differently. There are stars whose light we see tonight that began their journey millions of years ago. The photons reaching your eyes are ancient travelers, ghosts of long-dead suns, carrying messages from the deep past. When you look at the night sky, you are not seeing the present. You are seeing time itself, folded, layered, luminous. Every twinkle, a window into what once was. Now imagine if we could move fast enough. If we could travel close to the speed of light, we could stretch time itself. An astronaut traveling near light speed could spend 1 year in motion, while 100 years pass back on Earth. This is not fantasy, it's physics, time dilation, a strange and beautiful truth about the flexibility of reality. It means time is not a constant river, but an ocean, and each of us sails through it at our own current, guided by gravity, motion, and consciousness. And consciousness, That's the real mystery. Because when you dream, you experience your own version of relativity. The same bending of time, the same distortion of cause and effect. But instead of gravity bending the rules, it's emotion. Your brain folds the moments of your life, brings distant memories beside recent ones, connects people and places that never coexisted. And from that tapestry, it builds meaning. Dreams are not random. They are your personal space-time, your private universe. A field of gravity made of feeling, and maybe, just maybe, the boundary between the cosmos and the mind is not as wide as we think. Perhaps the brain is a kind of universe itself, a microcosm where time and space stretch, where gravity is replaced by emotion, and where energy takes the form of thought. When we sleep, we fall inward. Just like matter falling into a black hole, we cross a threshold, leaving behind the visible, waking world, and entering one shaped entirely by energy and imagination. We fall into the event horizon of the mind, where reality is reassembled, and where our sense of time dissolves into peace. Some scientists believe time itself may have begun at the Big Bang. Before that, there was no before, no ticking, no order, no sequence, only pure energy. And in the far future, when the universe grows cold and still, time might stop again, returning to the same silence from which it was born. Like an inhale and exhale, the cosmos breathes, and we, tiny parts of it, breathe in rhythm with that eternal motion. So if you've ever wondered why sleep feels like a little death and waking feels like rebirth, it's because you are experiencing what the universe itself does. The cycles of expansion and rest, of time flowing and pausing, of creation and quiet. When you close your eyes, you are stepping out of linear time. You are becoming infinite. You are aligning your mind with the timeless pulse of the cosmos. Now take a deep breath. Let your thoughts slow. You don't need to measure this moment. You don't need to count the seconds. Just listen to the quiet hum of your own heartbeat, the pulse that ties you to every other living thing. It beats in rhythm with the planets, with the waves, with the stars themselves. Because time is not outside you. It flows through you. You are part of its fabric. You are the clock, the dreamer, the universe. So rest, let go of the ticking world, and fall gently into the soft paradox of time, where moments are endless and sleep stretches beyond measure, where each breath is a universe and every dream a new beginning. Have you ever felt the earth move beneath you? Not the rumble of an earthquake or the wind brushing through the trees, but something subtler, a quiet hum, a sense that the planet itself is alive, breathing, pulsing, thinking. Most people never notice it, but if you listen carefully, you might sense that faint, ever-present vibration, the song of the earth, a sound older than life itself, a resonance that travels through rock and water, through air and bone, a whisper that has never stopped since the moment the world was born. Tonight, we'll explore that silent music, the hidden heartbeat of our planet, a rhythm so deep and slow that it connects everything, the oceans, the trees, even you. And as we drift through this story, you might begin to feel that hum inside your own body, because the truth is, you are part of it. You are made from the same vibrating energy that sings beneath your feet. Picture yourself standing in a wide open field, the night sky above you like a vast canvas of dark velvet, The stars glimmer softly, and the air feels charged, not in a stormy way, but with something ancient, something steady. You take off your shoes. Your feet press gently against the cool earth, and there, beneath the surface, you feel it, a faint, rhythmic pulse, like the slow beating of a giant heart. That rhythm is real. Scientists call it the Schumann resonance, a set of electromagnetic waves that circle the Earth, trapped between the ground below and the ionosphere above. It's the Earth's natural frequency, around 7.83 Hertz, which means it vibrates 7 times each second, so quietly that you'd never hear it, but your body does. Your brain does, because, astonishingly, that frequency is the same range as the human brain's alpha waves, the pattern your mind enters when you're calm, creative, or drifting toward sleep. Did you know? When lightning strikes anywhere on Earth, it helps sustain this resonance. Each flash sends a burst of electromagnetic energy across the globe, feeding the invisible hum that surrounds us. It's as though every storm, every flash of light in the sky, is keeping the Earth's song alive, a planetary metronome, marking the rhythm of existence. Now imagine this. The same field from before, but now, picture your point of view sinking beneath the soil, deeper, past the roots of the grass, past the tiny networks of fungi that weave between stones. Further still, until you reach the molten layers of Earth's mantle. There, rivers of magma move slowly, as if the planet itself were breathing in waves of heat. You're inside a living sphere, its iron core spinning, generating magnetic fields that stretch far into space. This invisible field shields the Earth, protects it from the solar winds, deflects cosmic radiation, and makes the very conditions for life possible. Without that magnetic field, every breath of air, every drop of water, would have long been stripped away by the relentless power of the sun. But the field holds. It wraps around us like a cocoon of safety, a protective shield we cannot see but owe everything to. And that field is not static. It moves, it ripples. It even reverses over long epochs, sometimes flipping entirely, so that the North Pole becomes south, and south becomes north, a slow cosmic heartbeat, echoing across geological time. But here's where the story becomes even stranger, because it seems our bodies respond to that magnetic rhythm. The electrical currents that flow through your heart, your neurons, your muscles, all are subtly influenced by geomagnetic waves in laboratories. Scientists have observed how human brainwaves align, how the Schumann resonance can sync with our nervous system, as if nature whispers directly into our biology, and we, without knowing, respond. Maybe that's why people feel grounded when they walk barefoot on the earth. It's not just poetic language, it's literal. Touching the soil allows electrons to move freely between your body and the ground, equalizing charge, restoring balance, your heartbeat, your brainwave, and the Earth's pulse, all quietly aligning, like 3 instruments tuning to the same pitch. And the sound of this harmony is all around us. The low vibrations of ocean waves, the crackling of thunderstorms, the soft rustle of trees in the wind. Every natural sound is part of the same grand symphony. Even silence is not truly silent. The earth is always singing in frequencies too low for our ears, but not too low for our hearts. Now, let's turn our gaze upward for a moment. The magnetic field extends far beyond the sky, shimmering where it meets solar winds. It creates the auroras, those curtains of color that ripple across polar skies. Green, violet, red, they're the visible poetry of magnetism. Each light a collision between Earth's shield and the sun's fire. A dance between two cosmic forces, delicate yet powerful. And if you were standing beneath one, you might feel that hum again, vibrating through your chest. That's the sound of the universe meeting the earth, a symphony of light and energy woven together. Beneath your feet, that same energy never stops moving. Seismic waves, tectonic shifts, the gentle motion of molten iron. They all contribute to the planet's heartbeat. If you could slow time down enough, you'd see continents drifting like clouds. You'd see mountains rise and erode, oceans deepening and shrinking. It's easy to forget the Earth is alive, not in a metaphorical sense, but in motion, in vibration, in endless transformation. And you are not separate from it. The iron in your blood was forged in the same cosmic furnaces that fuel the Earth's core. The calcium in your bones once belonged to ancient oceans. The air in your lungs is the same that dinosaurs once breathed. You are the Earth, and the Earth is you. Your heartbeat echoes its rhythm. Your cells vibrate to its frequency. Your sleep is rocked gently by its magnetic cradle. So, as you lie here, listening to the night, remember that you are held, you are supported by a world that hums quietly beneath you. Every mountain, every forest, every ocean, part of a vast, silent song, and in that song there is no loneliness, no separation, only connection, only resonance. Now imagine that quiet hum wrapping around you like a blanket, the steady vibration of life itself, carrying you gently toward rest. Let your breath fall into rhythm with the earth, slow, even, deep, in and out, in and out. You are part of the oldest song ever sung, and even when you sleep, that song continues, keeping time, keeping you alive. Now rest. Let your mind sink into the soundless music beneath the ground. Let your heartbeat merge with the earth's, and let the world cradle you back into stillness. Because tonight, you are not drifting away from the world. You are drifting deeper into it, into the pulse that never ends. The pulse that began before memory and will continue long after dreams